Hello, everyone. It looks like everything is working. Fingers crossed that things stay working. For those that are new here, welcome. I'm AmyR, Prairie Paper and Ink, Face, Card Making Space, and a bonus live. Because usually I only go live, generally, Sundays, 2 p.m. Central. And I missed a couple lives a couple weeks ago. I was live this past Sunday and trying to make up for it. Plus, I had ideas and things, and Pretty Pink Posh had a new release. If you missed my video, oh, and I left the cards. Whatever. Maybe I'll grab them. I had a video go live earlier today making some cards with some of the new release, and I had another idea with the same set, and that's what we're going to use. So, yes, hello to everyone. Everything seems to be working. It is just me here. There's no unpaid intern. He's holding down the fort. If real chaos erupts, he will pop in and help. But I think generally I can do all the things myself, you know. But we'll just see. I was doing great, and then like a headache was starting to just hint. So I took my Tylenol, all the things, and we should be good. We should be good. Everything should be good. So, yeah, just bonus live, and we'll just see what happens. I did a ton of prep. Not something I normally do. Again, for those watching live and on the replay, links to everything I used. I've already got it all listed, right? I did that, right? I'm like, yeah, I did. Okay, we're good. I was like, did I forget? Everything I'm planning on using is listed and linked in the description below. Again, since the unpaid intern is not helping, there will not be links like posted in the chat, but it's all below. And again, for those that might be new or unaware, my links are affiliate links. All that means is that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. It is what helps pay the bills. It all adds up every month, and yeah, that's what helps, fund all the things. And yeah, everything should be good. It should be. I was fine. Like when I planned all of it, I was like, I'm gonna go live tonight. And now all of a sudden I'm like, I just want to have a nap. But when you see all the cards I made, you'll understand. We'll get to it. But okay. I appreciate you guys popping in and showing up. And then for those that'll end up watching on the replay, my hair is like deciding to go weird. I appreciate you too. So everything seems to be good. So, like I said, Pretty Pink Posh October release. I'll do a quick little walkthrough. Yeah, and the doorbell. Yeah, chaos is starting to erupt. Whatever, not my problem. That is why the unpaid intern is holding down the fort. And I lost my train of thought. See, this is why I don't do these sorts of things very often. Yeah, Pretty Pink Posh October release, all holiday themed, all very fabulous. I thought we would just kind of walk through it because again, I'm using kind of the same things I used in the video I posted this morning, but we're going to do a different spin on it. But there's so many good things, and I will have at least another video coming because I'm doing an Instagram hop next week, I think, and that one will be using other products. But there we go. And then ignore that. This is the Pretty Pink Posh October release. And we've got shaker bits. These have some like weight to them, and they're nice and shaky, So we've got 3 different like colorways. There's the Snow Days, which is, blues and silver. These look like sprinkles, Do not eat them. As tempting as it is, these are not edible. This one's Rustic Christmas, which is also really pretty. And then this one, which is always one of my faves, is Berry Bright. So you got pink and red and few different shades of green and white. So yeah, super fun for shaker cards. Hello to everyone tuning in. So we got those. And then we've got the ornament set. That's what I'm going to use tonight, and I used in the previous video. So this is the Holiday Ornaments set. Lerv. The stamps are actually in my MISTI, so. And there's coordinating die set. And then the sentiment set. Also going to use this tonight. Love. Got all your little sentiments. And then there's coordinating wafer dies for that as well. So those we are not going to set aside because I kind of need them. So I got those. We got this cute little, this is the holiday icons. Just little stamps. Really cute. There is coordinating die set for these as well as like some larger little wafer dies that you can stick, you know, to like frame these out if you want to make them into like little like ornament type things, stuff like that. So that's really cute. So that one. There's the Upright Greetings Christmas, which looks a little weird, but when you actually see it used, it's really cute. I've talked about this before because she released, there was I think the Halloween one. I think there's one or two that have been released like before this. And I am not a big fan of vertical sentiments. I don't know what it is. My brain just doesn't care for them. These ones are cute. And I think it's just because they're small. A lot of times I find vertical sentiments, I was like, no, like, no fam, not my thing. But these are cute. So like it's, you know, jingle bells, merry, joyful, let it snow. Like they're cute. It's cute. I like it. It's got that one. And then this one, I was going to use this tonight, but the ornament idea just would not leave my brain. So I was like, we're going with the ornaments. But this is the snowflake one. Fabulous. Fabulous. Cute little border. All these little snowflakes. Again, coordinating wafer dies as well. It's got those. We got stencils. So there's the snowflake. Mine are not. Cascading snowflakes. So that's just a one single stencil. Then there's the layered bows, which is I think 2. I haven't used this one yet. Yeah. 2 stencils. So you could use it just as a background. It's kind of how it's like laid out. Or you can use it to add like little bows to things. You know? It's cute. So we got the layered bows. This one's really cute. This is the layered winter hats, or as us Canadians say, it's a toque. It's not a beanie. It's not a hat. It's a toque. So these are toques. Anyway, layered winter hats. Very cute. And then this one is the layered snowman, which this one has at least 3. Yeah, 3. This is a 3-layer stencil. So you got their bodies and snowflakes, their hats, noses, and scarves, and then their little like arms and faces and stuff. So, and yes, you can never have too many snowflakes. I've said that before. Like, with everything. You don't need all the things. You know, make do with what you got, yada, yada, yada. But when it comes to like snowflakes and butterflies and everything, let me be honest. I need it all. Anyway, so we got that. And then there's sentiments. We've got the winter script in the nice scripty font. The holly jolly shadow. So it's the word and the outline. And that one's like a nice little size. And then we've got this one. This is the big, large joy shadow. So it's the word and the outline. And that one's also like just a good size. So got those for sentiments. And then for individual die sets, we have the Christmas lights garland. Again, if I had had the time, I would have die cut all these. But all the images are listed with like each, you know, listing and yada, yada, you know. Because yeah, this one though I like because I like that you can die cut multiples with one pass, you know, so you'll die cut this from green or white, whatever color you want the wire to be, and then die cut the bulbs from just a bunch of scraps of different colors, and then adhere them and you're done. Like this one I was like, oh, cute, love it. Got that one. And then we have the snowflake shaker, which is actually 2 wafer dies. So if you just die cut it as is, you just have this big snowflake. Or if you use this little portion, you can die cut the interior and then make that into a little shaker window, and it'll give you enough space in between to put like, you know, strips of foam tape. Like the whole thing is thick enough to put the strips, you know, foam tape, so you're not because I've talked about this. I'm too bloody lazy to, if I have to sit and fiddle and fiddle and fiddle, but this one I was like, ooh. Plus it's a good size. It's a good size. So we got that one. Hello everyone. And then we've got the stitch snowflakes. So this one's just a bunch of snowflakes with the stitching detail, which Pretty Pink Posh does a lot of, and I love. This is another one that I'm just like, cannot wait to use. Then we also have, this was also a contender for tonight. I had there's too many good products and not enough time. This is the big Christmas cupcake. Love it. There have been many big cupcake wafer die sets, so you can kind of mix and match. I just love how this one, it's got the tree icing, you know, Christmas. And then the bow to put, so you can have a big bow. And these two funny little pieces are actually to put on each side. And then you have the bow, so it looks like it's, you know, wrapped around the cupcake. And then you've got little decorative elements, the cupcake topper, like the top of the actual cupcake, the wrapper, your tree icing, and then little ornaments and little gifts. Like, Tharsley. Super cute. It's super cute. So that one. And then we've got the ornament cover plate. So this one's A2 sized. It'll die cut the circles with a stitch detail. And then each of these circles could be an ornament with different, again, stitching, piercing detail. And then this one little wafer die has the ornament toppers. There's a couple toppers, a little holly leaf, a little circle. So that could be like, you could make little holly berries, a little bow, a little Christmas tree. Like, really cute. Really cute. And again, Pretty Pink Posh has several in different shapes and sizes. Like there have been stars. There was Christmas trees last year, which I did a video on. That one was fun because I sewed on those ones. And I made like 6 or 8 cards with it because I die cut this die cut it multiple times from like pattern paper. I'm just trying to remember what I did. Yeah, I just ran it through multiple times with pattern paper and then I think white cardstock and then layered it all up. And yeah, it's like you just run that through and you get all these die cuts and then you run it through with a different color, you know, and then you just have a stack and you just start assembling. So I did that last year. Yeah, I think that was last year's holiday series. And then we have the winter hat shaker. So you cut this big toque. And then the individual piece and even the center. So you can actually make both parts a shaker if you die cut it and then die cut those. So it'll give you, again, a frame to create a shaker. How cute is this? Seriously. Seriously. And then this one, which I think has been very popular, rightfully so. This is the holiday wreath builder. So you've got this, like kind of your base. You've got these leaves. You've got those leaves. You've got those leaves. And then you've got more. This is a huge die set because it's both. So you've got this one that you can, the circle, you can either use to create like a frame if you want to make it into like a shaker, or to like adhere bits and create dimension. You've got a bow and again, more leaves and sprigs. I like this one to run through like multiple times. So you've got just tons all at once, because if there was just like one wafer die of each, who's got time for that? So love it. Then there's the fringe tree. This one's really fun. I know there have been already several examples. This was another contender for tonight. Yeah, you just build up. You can do different colors. You could do an ombre or gradient, pattern paper, whatever. And then each piece like layers over the next. And then you got a little fringe bits. Like, super cute. And then I would like die cut this, the trunk. Oi, you guys. It's not even this, like, it's not late. It's been a long day. But like to die cut that from like a wood grain cardstock would be super fabulous. Oh, thank you, Lise, so much for the super chat. Let me, okay. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, the Marianne, the tree one, stay tuned. Oh, my nose is like itchy. There we go. I'm hoping. If not a full video, I might do like a short or a reel. Not my fan. I'm not a fan of those, but we'll see. Okay, I'm so overwhelmed. And then last but not least is the Build a Ornament set. This is so fun. It's so fun. So you got like the large pieces, again with stitching detail, and then all the pieces to die cut and just create, you know? And I love, again, there's multiples. All the pieces you need to add little dots and bits. But now that I'm looking at this though, like I would skip using like these and you could just use gems. Because if you're anything like me and you have like a 5 million lifetime supply of like bling. Anyway, and multiple ornament toppers. Love that. I love, because if it's a set that I would normally not use just one of, like the ornaments I would make like 2 or 3 or however many for a card. I like that then I could do all the die cutting in one pass. So that was the release in a nutshell. Let's get into the actual making. And I don't mind. I like when other people make reels. I like watching other people's like shorts and reels. That's fine with it. But actually making them as a content creator, they are a ridiculous amount of time and effort. Like that's also why I appreciate them, because they're just, I've made like 2 officially in the last couple years, and the one that I did, it literally took me an entire day to make, and it wasn't even like a process video either. It was me. Oh, I had done like a trifold card. Yeah, it was during Valentine's, I think last year, and I'd done like a pretty involved trifold card with a bunch of die cuts and all kinds of things. And so I did a little reel just to show how it like opens and everything. Took me all bloody day. It was stupid. It was stupid. So that's why I'm not a fan of them. Anyway, we are shockingly going to go somewhat clean and simple, because I had an idea. I was actually inspired. Kathy Zielski did a video. It was I think it was one of her most recent lives. I think it was just her most recent live where she did the poinsettias and she white heat embossed them on just color cardstock and then did this gorgeous arrangement. I didn't even get a chance to watch the live. I caught like a tiny bit of it because, again, my life is chaos. But I loved Kathy Zielski, chef's kiss. If those that aren't aware, go, if you don't already subscribe to her. Most of my subscribers are already subscribed to her. And if you're not aware, I am the queen of the Kathy Zielski fan club. You can fight me for that position. But yeah, it's been stuck in my head, that card, like the image of it. And I was like, and then when I was playing with the ornament set and I made my video that I posted earlier, just in the back of my mind, they're like, but what if you heat embossed it on color cardstock? You know? So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, so the cardstock. I went with, and I'm like knocking everything over. Okay, I do have my heat tool plugged in. Non-traditional colors. So this is gonna be my color palette. Leave that one out. This is gonna be the color palette. This is what we're gonna do. This is what I chose, because I did like through Stamptember so many holiday cards, and I did so many of them in traditional colors, which is not normally what I do. I don't know. I went through a phase and I did so many cards with like the traditional red, green, white color palette, which is fine. I love it. I'll never not. But I tend to do I just like non-traditional colors. So, hello to everyone. Oh, welcome, Trina. That's fun. Yeah, Kathy's amazing. She is. She is just the best human. And if you have not subscribed to her, if I remember after this live, I should have done it before I started. I'll post a link, hopefully, in the description below to the live that like inspired me. But again, right as of like watching this, if you go on her YouTube channel and go under the lives, it's like the very first one because it was her most recent. But yeah, these are the colors we're going to use. That's what I pulled out. And then also Morning Frost. I have been just loving Altenew's cardstock. It is a bit lighter weight. Generally, I work with very heavyweight cardstock because I'm just bougie like that, like 100-pound plus minimum. And so when Altenew first released, because it's only been a month or two, couple months now since they released their cardstocks, and they've released more colors. At first I was like, ooh, 80-pound, really? But I love it. 1, the colors, fabulous. 2, my biggest love with these is using for like layering. All the layering dies we have, like that wreath, things like that. I actually love that the cardstock's a little bit lighter weight. It's still a decent weight. It's not flimsy, It's a decent weight. But it's not so super thick so that my cards don't end up being, this thick. And yeah. So, these are the colors. So soft lilac, deep iris, volcano lake, pastel sunrise, and then I'm going to use a bit of morning frost, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit, because yeah, okay. Diddly do. What am I doing? I was like, so I've got a panel of cardstock. I was like, where's anti-static powder? I use the anti-static powder to prevent the embossing powder from clinging to anything other than the stamped image. This is a little Simon Says stamp doohickey. So you just there we go. Put the lid back on. Tap off some of the excess like that. And then, yeah, I know these colors are just gorgeous, especially this one. All the colors are gorgeous, really. No Chris today, Heather. He's busy holding down the fort and preventing any other chaos. If chaos erupts here during the live, that's on me, you know. But yeah, I am a one woman show tonight, which is 100% fine. So inking up the stamps, which were, I had them in place, and you'll see why, because I did, like I was saying in the beginning, I did prep work for once. But yeah, I got the stamps all lined up. So we're just going to stamp them with clear embossing ink. And this is something I've been talking about in recent videos, because it is something I've noticed that regardless of whether or not my embossing ink is juicy, because like during Stamptember, I was noticing that my embossing ink pad was like dry, because I use it all the time. Almost every single card I am using embossing ink. So I re-inked this, like just filled it up good. But regardless, I find that if I ink up and stamp my images more than once, like at least twice, sometimes 3 times, depending on what surface I'm stamping on. If it's like watercolor paper, I find I will now stamp like 3 times. I get a better coverage of the ink, and then I get way better results with the embossing powder. Like way better, because there's more ink sitting there to hold on to that embossing powder, and it just, and this is the joys of having a stamp positioner, so I can just do it over and over again. Again, is it necessary? Not 100%, but I've noticed a difference personally, because it's like, oh, I don't have as many like missing little gaps or whatever. Look at those little bottom corners of those ornaments. So in him too, he's being a bum. There we go. Hello to everybody. So yeah, dampen your spot. Go in your home. There we go. This one's still being a bit of a bum, just because it can be. I swear. Some days. Yep. Okay. We're good. Everything's good. There we go. And I need embossing powder. It's just white embossing powder. Nothing special. You could do metallics for this too. I thought about it, but I really liked just the white embossing powder on color cardstock. But if you wanted to change it up and do, silver or gold, that would look really pretty. It would. And honestly, I probably should have done that, but when you see I actually made multiples of this card. Yeah. But this would look really pretty to do it in like silver or gold, and then add some silver or gold splatter. That would look amazing too. So, I'm actually not planning on adding any splatter. I know, I lost my mind. I'm okay. Everything's okay. I'm not being held hostage. Life is good. Okay. Just making sure everything's coated. Let's just give it another little perhaps it needs base layers to build a decent amount of pot. Sort of. Kind of. But yeah, if you find that you're, when you're heat embossing and your images just don't look at, like, I've been seeing it a lot. People saying like, my embossing powder's gone bad. And I'm like, it doesn't really, technically. Um, the only time I could see embossing powder starting to maybe go bad, people that live in very humid climates, it could get a little weird. But I have literally had embossing powder for like 20 years that works the same. So I'm a little like, are you sure it's the embossing powder? Or yeah, are you just not getting enough ink coverage? You know? Okay. Please tell me. Yeah, I had this plugged in. Okay, we're good. I know, no splatter. Who'd have thunk? Oh, and this is where I can show the example. Generally, I only show this live. This is what I mean by when I go on about like smooth and shiny, dull and grainy. Because you want smooth and shiny, like so. And then if it looks dull and grainy, which these obviously, but even within like one image, like see, this is only partially embossed. We want to get all of it smooth and shiny. Because if it's dull and grainy, it ain't melted yet. And there we go. And then the other thing to always remember too with heat embossing, the minute it turns smooth and shiny, move the heat tool. If you continue to heat the same area, it will start to like overheat the embossing powder. It starts to liquefy and then sink right into the cardstock. So that'll be another reason. It's not that the embossing powder went bad, it's that you overheated it and you'll have this like sort of splotchy look. It'll be kind of like dull in areas and very flat because it's literally sunk into the cardstock because you've overheated it. So, yeah. Those are the ornaments. And then let's put all these ornaments back onto their packaging. And yes, I love heat embossing. It'll never get old. I think that's one of the first like really magical things in card making. You know, when you first get into it, it's like, oh, okay, this is really fun. But the first time you see heat embossing or you do heat embossing and it melts, it's just like, oh, you know, love it. Yeah, I think more the people that have issues with embossing powder, like again, going bad because it's not organic, you know, and it's not a liquid, it's not a paste or anything like that. Like it's literally like plastic particles basically. Um so it technically can't go bad, but humidity can play a factor with things. And possibly also maybe over time there's just stuff that gets, you know, into the embossed powder and that's causing the issue. I don't know. I've never had a problem. But I never say never, you know. Some stuff who knows? Who knows? Okay. Um what was sentiments. It's like, oh, there was something I was gonna do. I want to stamp while I've got my MISTI out because this is the only this is the only thing I need my MISTI for is I want to do my sentiments. So I'm gonna do it on this lighter cardstock, which was what, soft lilac? Yeah, soft lilac. So I'm gonna use one of the sentiments, this one, because I'm already have a favorite. Favorite. This is the winter greeting set, but I love this Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. I really like the sentiment, man. So I got that one. And then I'm going to use the Mary from this one. So we're just going to stick those on there. Goodness, way back when it was first gateway drug for sure. Yeah, heat embossing it just is. Especially like white embossing powders is fine. You know, it's cool. It looks great. It's the metallics though that, you know, when you melt gold embossing powder or silver embossing powder and it melts, and that is the most fun. Like, just it's a game changer, you know? It's just fun. So, anti-static powder again. Stick that on there. Tap off the excess, and then we're going to do the same thing. We are going to stamp these. Got him. Ha! Fruit fly. Stamp the sentiments. We're going to do them multiple times. Again, ink up and stamp. And always remember too, you don't need to, like, we're not doing CPR, you know, on the stamps. When I say, like, when I talk about stamping multiple times, everything, I'm not applying insane amounts of pressure because these are photopolymer. And even with red rubber, if you press too hard, you start to like mush the stamp and you will lose the detail. So if you find your, you know, sentiments or line images, whatever, look really like thick and chunky, you're probably pressing way too hard. Like you just don't need to. There we go. Okay. And I already put away the embossing powder. Good job, Amy. I'm a professional. I'm a professional. Okay. Get that on there. Yeah, he looks good. Okay. Here we go. Oh, have fun at work, Sharon. All right, let's melt this guy. Yep. Oh, I missed one spot. Perfect. Perfect. Cords everywhere. I got a fruit fly while crafting. Oh, they drive me insane. Especially like for the most part, being out here, for those that aren't aware, I am in my garage. It's the only space left for me. We got not a big enough house and too many kids. And yeah, during the day it's not too bad, but in the evenings, like right now, they're attracted to all my filming lights, so they start like just it drives me insane. I'll be in here trying to do a voiceover and they're like trying to fly them and it just so annoying. So annoying. Anyway. Okay. We got that one. Put my stamps away so I don't lose them, because otherwise I will. So we got our sentiments. We got our ornaments. I just use, you can't really see it on here. You see it more on like dark cardstock, especially black cardstock. The anti-static powder, you know, likes to leave a nice white cast all over everything. So I just use a microfiber cloth and I buff it away. But again, on lighter cardstock, it's not obvious. It's generally black cardstock where it's like, oh dude, not pretty. So we wipe it away. And then we got to die cut all these little dudes. And to do that, where's my cord? There we go. Use the coordinating wafer dies. I've already got my hair stuck to it. Good job. Good job. Everything is good. And I'm going to be a little bit crazy and not use tape. For the most part, the magnet kind of does hold them in place. So we'll just trust the magnet. Trust the magnet. Trust that it'll do its job. There we go. Okay. Yes, what Therese said. We use like we would use apple cider vinegar. and we'd stick it in little jars. And yeah, you put plastic wrap, press and seal, saran wrap over it. And then, yeah, you just poke a bunch of holes in it. And the fruit flies will crawl in to get at the apple cider vinegar, and then they can't get out. They're good little fruit fly traps. Although I will say they haven't been as bad this year. Like last year, we had them so bad, like horrifically bad in our house because we have like piles of fruit usually, you know, in the kitchen and stuff. And they were awful, like awful. We had so many fruit fly traps, and like I had them in here too because of course they'd migrate to our garage. Oh, it was annoying. It was, oh, it drove me insane. Okay, let me die cut these guys. But yeah, ugh, not fun. Whoop. Okay. Here we go. Look at that. We got all our little... And I do love... I forget when she started doing this. You can just see it on camera, but she's got the like outline of the dies on her packaging. Because I keep pretty much the vast majority of my stamps and dies in the packaging they come in. Like, I don't have the time to transfer, you know, everything to clean packaging, magnet sheets, all that kind of stuff. I just use the packaging it comes on. And I like having the outlines because that way I can always tell just at a glance. I was like, ooh, I'm missing a wafer die, you know, so then I know what I'm doing and I know to quickly look for it. So we've got our little ornaments. Stick those there for a moment. We need the ornament for the Mary, or the wafer die. And then coordinating wafer die for the sentiment. So same thing. We're gonna die cut the sentiment just like so. And then we'll die cut this one. Line him up. Yes. Yes. So we'll get him lined up. And then what I had done before I filmed is with a set like this and what I was planning on doing, because I had shown multiple colors, not just this color, is I just did assembly line process. So I stamped and heat embossed on multiple panels of cardstock with the ornaments. So I ended up with a pile of the Pastel Sunrise and the Plum and these. So these are technically extras because I already did this, but I'm going to use these. I'm not going to waste them. So I had a pile of them. And with that pile of ornaments, I made multiple cards. And that's what we're going to make. I'm just going to make one, but I made 5 cards because there were 6 ornaments. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. Just like I do when I'm doing, you know, multiples. And it's always nice to have extras and get more use. So this will make like 10 cards I've made with this ornament stamp set and this sentiment set, which I love. So, okay. So we've got ornaments in the different colors. These guys I thought I would use on the insides of my cards. And then I've got my sentiments. And then what I did was, I don't need the magnet sheet for this. Where did I put it? There it is. This is not a new stencil set. This came out, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. It's still available. This is the layered Christmas lights stencil set. So it's another layering stencil. So you've got, which this would go good with that die set I showed. You've got like the wire, the Christmas lights, and then the little branches. So we're going to use just this stencil. And we're going to dry emboss it onto some cardstock. So your die cut machine, depending on what brand of die cut machine you have, should have either come with a rubber mat or some, like, there are rubber mats you can purchase separately, but most machines I think come with one now. This is the one that came with the Empress machine, and it's like, this one's like hefty. And it says like die embossing because instead of cutting with your dies, you can emboss with them. I've done videos on that way in the past. But you can also emboss with your stencils and this mat. So I need my white cardstock. So to do it with the Empress machine, I have cutting plate, my embossing or die embossing mat, rubber mat. I have my cardstock, and then I have my stencil. So we're just going to line this up, and then we're going to stick the last cutting plate on top, and then we're going to run this through the die cut machine. Okay. There we go. And then, I always fight with the tacky glue that they put in the packages. I'm so afraid of it. Oh, I know. I totally, like, those that do the magnet sheets. I will do the magnet sheets for my most used die sets. Because it's like, if I'm using it all the time, I'm not going to sit here and, you know. I find the Pretty Pink Posh, her adhesive isn't so bad. Sometimes with some of the brands, the adhesive they use, it is infuriating. It's like super glue. So with those ones, yeah. There literally have been times though that I'll keep all the dies in place and I'll use my anti-static powder just to take off all, like, you know, to cover all the stick of the exposed, but it'll just leave, you know, enough to stick the die in place if I feel the need. But yeah, I keep everything in the packaging it came in. It's just easier for me, because then that way I know where everything is. Speaking of which, let me put that on there. So then, yes, my cards are very clean and simple because they are inspired by Kathy Zilski. And Kathy Zilski is amazing, and she is the queen of clean and simple. Like, I love clean and simple. I love the look of it. These took me, even though I was inspired by her, it took me a ridiculous amount of time. They take time. Anyway, so let me get back to. So that's what you get when you emboss with a stencil. So it's very subtle. It's not, you know, it's not like an embossing folder. You're not getting, but you get the pattern, which is nice if you don't want a lot of bulk. And that's what I didn't want with these, because I was thinking about, I have some embossing folders with like pine branches, things like that, but they're very detailed and I also couldn't find them. I was flipping through my stash and I was like, no. And then I came across this stencil and I was like, oh, the stencil's perfect. It's perfect. So yeah, it just gives you that little, you know, gives a little detail. It's subtle, but that's all I need, you know? When the adhesive rips the dang packaging, so you get the dye stickiness for paper. Oh yeah, especially with like big solid dies. The amount of times I've ripped so much packaging and I just kind of go with it. I don't really care. I don't really care. But yeah, sometimes it can be annoying. I just deal with it, man. So yeah. Okay. So we've got our little background, our subtle little background. And then our ornaments, just like so. So we'll do in a little arrangement of sorts. How do I want to do this? Kind of maybe like that. Yeah, I like that better. Here we go. We're doing a little arrangement with the ornaments. Yeah. But yes, clean and simple is not my forte. It's just not. I find that for me, clean and simple is more work because I really have to think a lot. And I personally believe that clean and simple is quite an art because you have to have an eye for it. And that's, again, why I'm such a big fan of Kathy Zilski, because she's got an eye for it, you know, for design and blocking things out and just all the things. And she's just all around a good person. I really like her. So, yeah. subscribe to her if you don't already. But like I always say, most of my audience already watches Kathy Zilski's videos. So I am just using thin foam squares. Nothing crazy. These aren't going to be super bulky. My only problem with Clean and Simple is that I almost always get an ink smear or two on the white card base. Same. That's also why we're doing this separate. One, because I was embossing on it, but like I try to work separately. I've kept my card base separate away from everything because yeah, that's another reason why I don't do Clean and Simple, because it's pretty much guaranteed I'm just gonna mess it up. So it's like when I'm doing my typical throw everything but the kitchen sink and a bunch of splatter and you know, it's like it's already a mess. You can't tell. You can't tell what was intentional and what was accidental. Yeah. Anyway, is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna use some thin foam squares to pop up my little ornaments so that they've got just a bit of dimension. Yes. Yes. Okay. I want to make sure. Put that one there. Just like that. And then this dude, I just want to make sure I don't place, I just kind of want to place the adhesive. Just like stick one like right there. Yeah. One right there. Probably one right there. Is that going to fit? Yep. That'll work. That'll work. That'll do, donkey. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Terry. Yes. You all can also, of course, be members of the Kathy Z fan club, but like I said, I am the queen of the fan club. I'm a total stable genius. Anyway. Nope, no, wait. That's not where I wanted him, actually. Carefully. Well, just, there we go. I want to move him over just a smidge. There. I didn't want to, I love like the shape of ornaments. So anyway. So we've got the ornaments. And I talked about this in the earlier video this morning. I have this thing where it's like, to me, I can't leave them like this. Like they're just floating. You know, it just bothers me. So in the earlier video, I used like metallic thread, which I was gonna do today, and I was like, wait, we're doing a little more Clean and Simple. There's an easier way around it. So all I did was I took the Morning Frost cardstock, and I just stuck it in my guillotine trimmer. I stuck the cardstock in my trimmer, like just a big old scrap of it, and then you can barely see, but like just this would be like roughly between a 16th and an 1/8 of an inch. I wasn't measuring. I just eyeballed it, you know, and I just cut little strips like that. And it actually, like, the cardstock even curls a bit, but that's fine. It's like I just cut narrow little strips of just a light, you know, a light gray cardstock. So I've got these little strips that I can use, and I cut more than I needed. And I'm going to use these to create like faux little, you know, hangers without having to mess around with threads. So this will just make it simple to make it look like they're hanging. Because again, I got issues, man. Patricia, I'm not sure. I think they ship internationally. I also have links to Simon Says Stamp. Simon Says Stamp does ship internationally. International shipping is not cheap. But I'm not 100. I think Pretty Pink Posh does ship internationally, but I'm not 100% sure on that. You could just check on their website though. I've got links to all the things, and you could just see what it says about that. Because most companies do, most of the smaller craft companies, it's just sadly shipping is a little painful. So, where's my other, these are the scissors I want. So I just adhered a little strip, and then I just snip it. And then for ones like this that are overlaying, I'm just going to tuck it like underneath. I'm not going to stick it like directly to the ornament. I just don't think it's necessary, you know? So it's going to give it that little extra something, you know, so that my own OCD is appeased, but it doesn't need to be exact. And then I just make sure that I'm not getting like glue smears all over the place. Just wipe a little bit off. And then I can snip off the next little bit. And then one last time, just like so, stick a little bit of glue on it, like that. And then I can just tuck that in to the last one. So then the ornaments have their little strings. So I gotta move that guy over a bit. Straighten him out. He was a little wonky. Good enough. And then we can snip him off. And we got that. And then the other little strips I'll save for something else. And then what I'm gonna do is make sure everything's still working. Oh, where did I put it? Okay. We're gonna have to zoom in a little bit for this. Okay. As of right now, because of course I did all these cards, planned everything, and then when I was doing up the links before I went live, I went to check, and this is sold out again. Tonic is sold out. Simon Says Stamp is sold out. This is the Nouveau Aqua Shimmer Clear Glitter Gloss. My favorite, my holy grail. I love it. I did post a link below the link to this for the Wink of Stella Clear set. You can get a set of 3. I haven't used Wink of Stella in a lot of years. It works in the same way as this. I'm not, I'm just saying that because I'm not sure if Wink of Stella has changed theirs, because Wink of Stella's clear is more of a like kind of a was. Because again, I'm not sure. I should probably order a new one and see if they've changed it. But theirs has a bit of a gold tone to it. It's still super pretty. It's super pretty. And it's just a brush. So they're both very similar. Because every time I use the Nouveau one, people ask me about the Wink of Stella one. They work in the exact same way. They show up with a band on it, and you got to remove it. And then inside is the liquid with all of the shimmery goodness. And then you just paint with it. And it's super pretty. And this isn't going to look like much, but I'll turn my flashlight on when I'm done, and it's so sparkly. You're going to kind of see it at first because I'm painting it onto color cardstock, but it's going to dry basically completely clear. Like, you are not going to see this. And I just wanted to use it to enhance some of the little areas of these ornaments to give everything. And normally you do not like squeeze this, because if you do, you're gonna get like a big blob of liquid coming out. And you could do this before adhering everything, but yeah, when I was making these cards, it was kind of an afterthought, and I was like, oh yeah, we gotta add some glitter. So yeah, it'll look a little darker on each area I place it on. Like right now it's a little bit darker, but that's just because the cardstock's wet. You know, it's going to dry clear. You're not really going to see it. But then when you tilt it in the light, and when I show with my flashlight, because again, on camera, it doesn't look like much. In real life, like, I can see this shimmer. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but it's still not, it doesn't have the wow factor yet. It's gonna. You just got to trust the process. So this works really well too if you're more into the clean and simple, or if you just don't like, you know, coloring, or if you're like me and you wanted to make a whole bunch of these types of cards, you know, back to back. and not mess around with a ton of coloring, but still have a little bit of, you know, a little bit of something. It's just super duper pretty. But yeah, as of right now, the Nuvo one is, of course, completely sold out. It was sold out for a really long time, and then they restocked it. And I started using it and showing it again, and they sold out again. And then I went and checked, and it's like sold out everywhere. It's like, man, you guys need to like get on that and just please, please make more of one of my favorite products, because I have backups of this. I use it, and this one's actually almost, I can tell, like, it's almost completely empty because I've like used it right up. And yeah, so right now, yeah, everything looks like darker, which is really pretty. I almost kind of wish it would stay like that, but it's going to dry and you're not really going to see it because, like, see, this one's already like dry and it doesn't look like it did anything. Yeah, Spectrum Noir does have one as well. I can't remember if I have the clear one. I have some of the color ones from Spectrum Noir and they're nice. So we're going to use this again in a second because where did I put it? Here it is. I have, this is another oldie but goodie set. It's linked below. This is the bows, the beautiful bows die set from Pretty Pink Posh. There's a bunch of different like shapes and sizes and everything. I used just this little guy and I die cut the lighter purple cardstock with the little bows. So I've got my little bows because I just thought that'd be cute on each of these ornaments just to give it that little extra something. So I'm just gonna adhere this into place. Words are hard, man. Oi. And then boop, just a little bit of glue, just like so. And then once I've got these guys in place, I'm going to paint these, just the bows, with the shimmer pen as well. Just because, you know, we can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with glitter. Like, there's never too much glitter. And this is my version of clean and simple, you know? And this is especially nice too if you don't have like specialty cardstocks or the right color of specialty cardstock. Like I most likely got like I'm sure I have like a lavender glitter cardstock. In fact, I know I do. I have a lavender glitter cardstock in my stash. I could have used that to die cut, but I had all the other cardstock out that I was using, you know, and doing all the die cutting. So I just die cut the bows from that. And then I was like, they look a little flat. They need a little something. So this is the only time I will squeeze this. And I do not squeeze over my project. I squeeze separately. And a lot of times I'll also just do it over like even an acrylic block just to keep my elbow. But I'll just give it like, it'll depend again on, yeah, I just needed to do the one. But see, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a lot. Yeah, see? This is why you don't do it over your project. I kind of work at it a little bit so that it's not like dripping, because you don't want like blobs of this everywhere. But yeah, if you find that your brush, and it doesn't matter what brand, isn't applying enough, you know, of the shimmery goodness, that's when I'll squeeze it off to this side so that I don't get blobs of it all over my project. And since now the brush has been like extra primed, we'll just add a little extra to these areas so that we've got a little extra shimmer sparkle goodness. Because, you know, this is just what we do. It's a Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen. It's listed and linked in the supply list under the video. Everything I'm using is listed under the video in case people miss like what I said or what I'm talking about. Everything, and it's not a huge supply list because again we're keeping things fairly simple. So And then, yeah, I posted a link to the Wink of Stella ones because those are in stock. The set of 3 is anyway. So I did post a link to those because if a person doesn't have anything, get those too. They're great. Okay, so we got that, and then I can show you guys the Shimmer Sparkle goodness. Cause hello. Okay. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I love these pens. Cause they're amazing and we'll just be magpies and stare at the glitter while I say stupid things in song form. I don't know. Look at it. Look how amazing that is. I tried die cutting glitter paper this morning. It was a nightmare. I ran it through several times, used a metal shim, use a full piece of paper and go. It depends on the brand of glitter paper. I talked about this on Sunday's Live. Simon Says Stamp glitter paper, Tonic glitter paper, Lawn Fawn glitter paper, Altenew glitter paper. What other brands have I used? There's a few other brands out there, but all of those ones die cut. If your glitter cardstock is very thick, like some of it's almost like chipboardy, or if you flip over the glitter cardstock and the back is almost like shiny, it's got almost like a plastic coating. That stuff is almost impossible to die cut. It is like fused. It is not good. And yeah, that stuff is not fun. And it's the most you can basically do with it is like cut it into like strips with a paper cutter. But even trying to cut it with a paper cutter, it like ruins paper cutters. So yeah. Okay. There we go. So we've got our shimmery amazing bits. And then this is one of the very few times, because I've got my little sentiment that we stamped and heat embossed. This is one of the very few times I will like trim little bits of foam. I could have like die cut extras, but I talked about like this cardstock's a little lighter weight, and I would rather just trim than I would need to die cut like 3 or 4. And I don't know, I just didn't like it flat. It needed, and since when I do go clean and simple, I've talked about this in other videos. When I do go clean and simple, I generally do a little more dimension than I normally would, because I'm not spending all my time throwing everything but the kitchen sink at it. So it's like, I can take a little bit of time to trim a few pieces of foam, foam tape or foam squares, to build a little dimension. The rest of the time, I can't be bothered. Like, even now I'm struggling because, of course, it's when we're live and it's like there's an audience. And now, boo. This is why I don't do it normally. But I'll just cut some little strips and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. There we go. Mine was the Altenew in the small packs. I have never had a problem die cutting that cardstock. I use the Altenew glitter cardstock, and it's in the 3x6 packs. I use that stuff a lot. I think I have every color pack they have available. I've purchased it and repurchased it. I have never had a problem. It is a little bit thicker, but I've never had a problem die cutting it. Like, yeah, that's like really kind of crazy. Because yeah, I've never had a problem. That's yeah. It might be you might not have enough pressure. It could be so many things. It could be the wafer die. It could be not enough pressure in your die cut machine. Because yeah, the Altenew stuff, I love their glitter paper. In fact, they have again. They're the ones I was thinking of. I was like of a light purple shade. I think one of their purple packs has a light purple shade that I love. So yeah, we're just gonna curve around, and if you remove the backing, regardless of like if it's a foam square or foam tape, if you remove the backing from both sides, it's flexible, so I can just bend it around where it needs to go. And then one more little piece can go right there. There we go. That's enough. Okay. Boop. There we go. And then we just got to peel the backing off from that. Get out. Oh, there we go. There we go. So got that. Make sure I don't have any little greebly bits. Yeah, no, I want this over there. Just like that. And we commit. So got our little, let me zoom out a little bit more so we're not like right. There we go. It's a little better. So we got our card front for the most part. There'll be a couple little bits that we're going to add. So we're going to adhere this to the card base. I used the Empress. It was a snowflake frame die. Ooh, if it was really detailed. Yeah. Yeah. Although it depends on like what frame die set you used. Because I did a couple of videos during Stamptember using one of the older, yeah, it might even be the same snowflake frame set. And I die cut it from glitter cardstock, no problem. But yeah, sometimes even the best glitter cardstocks, when you're getting, especially snow, because some snowflake wafer dies they're so delicate, you know, and it's like sometimes I'll get it to cut, you know, but then when it's time to like remove it from the wafer die because there's such narrow little areas, like it'll just start falling apart, but kind of depends. Does your glue press ever clog up? Oh, it clogs all the time. I did a video, I did a review of the glue press months ago. It's on my channel. You can check it out. I gave my unfiltered opinion of it because I purchased it. It was not sent to me. I don't do positive reviews in exchange for product or money anyway. Just if that has not already been made abundantly clear by myself and my personality and everything. I say it how it is. And yeah, I purchased this thing myself. And yeah, I did a review. I was using it behind the scenes for a while because yeah, I wasn't sure, and I genuinely love it. It clogs on me all the time. Literally, no matter what, does not matter how you put it in there, it clogs. I either use the lid because the lid that it comes with has a piercy bit, or I have a pin cushion that a subscriber made for me many years ago. Isn't he cute? He's got coffee beans inside him. And even now, this thing is, I've had this for years. You can still smell it. He's super cute. But yeah, he sits off to the side and I keep all my random pins and stuff in here. And yeah, I just use a pin. I unclog it. I don't care. I don't care. Glue clogs. And I use this every day because I do this as a job. So I am in here 7 days a week. And I'm too lazy to put the lid on it. I leave it in the holder. I don't care. It clogs. But for me and my hands, this has been a game changer because my hands were starting to ache using squeezing smaller tubes of glue, anything. It was to the point where at the end of the day, I was in pain. I was in pain. But yeah, I have a review of it on my channel earlier this spring. I forget when this thing came out. Came out the end of last year, so I forget when it came out. I think I ordered it when it came out, and then I did a review in March, maybe. I think it came out in January. I forget. I honestly don't remember anymore, you guys. My sense of time is so gone. So gone. Not even funny. Let's just take... Okay, so since I had done these to show during the live, I want to use these on the inside. So I was going to add... I've got my sentiment, and then I thought I would add a little ornament. And then I'd also, of course, because again, I've got OCD. So we'll just go like that. Yeah, that works for me. So we'll add just a little strip of the adhesive. Boop. Get the little goobery bit. Also, my glue clogs all the time because I don't use the glue it comes with. It comes with a good glue. It comes with the tonic, the Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, which is a good adhesive. It's a good one. Um, I have been using Simon Says Stamps Craft Tacky Glue for however bloody many years now. And it is one of the thickest glues on the market, and that's just what I'm used to and what I prefer because again, I've got a bit of OCD. And so yeah, this glue because it's so thick, it clogs. It just does. And I don't care. I don't care. Like they clog in their own bottles, any of the glues I use and have tried, and so I was like, that's just par for the course with liquid glue. So we got our little ornament. Thank you, Ellen. Video was March. Okay. So there. I was actually right for once. For once. Yeah. I was pretty sure I was pretty sure it was back in the early springtime that I had posted my video. Reviewing this. You guys, it's not late here, but it feels like it's late. The one thing that I struggle with this time of year is the lack of sunlight. You know, it's starting to get darker and darker and darker. We're getting less and less daylight up here, and it makes me sad. So, fun times. But anyway, so we got that. Got our sentiment, because you guys know I got to do something on the inside of the card. And then the other thing I want to do on the inside, because I want to bring in more of the color. And I did this on the previous ones as well, on the video I did earlier, is these little starburst. That's what I call them. They're little stars, whatever. And I'm just going to stick them to the same acrylic block I had pulled out. That was fortunate. And then I'm just going to use the same color ink as the cardstocks, this Pastel Sunrise ink from Altenew. And we'll just stamp a few of these little guys. Just like so. Just to finish off the insides. I'll stick that one right there. Just like that. That's it. That's all it needs. So we got that. My algorithm loved you today and got to see several older videos. Oh yeah. Sometimes the algorithm likes me. Most of the time it does not. That's just my... That's why I always say, and it does genuinely help. The whole like thumbs upping and commenting in videos. You know, it's part of my spiel at the end of videos. It does help because everything is run by an algorithm. And it's annoying and frustrating as a content creator. I literally have people contact me and they're like, I'm subscribed to you. I don't see any of your videos. And I was like, if you don't interact with them, technically, I say this with a caveat, technically, if you don't ever interact with them, YouTube's algorithm sees it as, oh, you don't care. So we will not keep serving you that content, that person's content. But there are also people that they're like, I like and comment on all your videos and I never see it pop up on my feed. And I was like, dude, I don't control the algorithms. Because if I did, that's all you guys would see 24/7 is my videos all the time. AmyR all the time. Let's all go insane. I do have nearly like almost 3,000 videos altogether up on YouTube. So yeah, I don't even want to know how long of content that is. That's insane, but I've been doing this for 15 years since I posted my first... Has it been that long? I think it's been like almost 15 years since I posted my first video. That's nuts. Anyway, back to the card. I need to move somewhere dark and rainy. Yeah, it's not dark and rainy here. It's dark. It's depressing. I do suffer from like seasonal depression issues like that. It's something I have to deal with and like medicate and all the things because yeah, this time of year I'm just like, I just don't want to. I just don't want to. Mint Shimmer Confetti. I'm getting distracted. We gotta add a little bit of extra bling. But yeah, something like more like the Pacific Northwest. That would be more my jam, you know? But out here in the middle of the prairies where it's just dark and miserable and icky, from about now until spring. Not fun. Not fun at all. I'm being conservative with the bling. Same, which is again polar opposite from the video I did earlier where I was like, more is more. So this is my version of clean and simple. And in true Kathy Zielski fashion, I guess I should be booping. Boop. There we go. We'll add a little, tuck a little one in there. Stick one right there. And that's it, you guys. I did it. I did it. Love your videos, but never comment. I guess I was wrong. Oh, you don't have to comment, you know. Giving it a thumbs up is great too. You know, I don't like saying it as if I'm like fishing for it or, you know, you're not a true fan. It just helps. At the bare minimum, thumbs up. I appreciate people, the fact that people are tuning in, whether it's to my lives, which that's not everyone's cup of tea, which is fine. I get it. Or, you know, my regular videos. I just appreciate the fact that people take the time out of their day to watch me make something and blab about what I love to do. But yeah. And yes, yikes, no splatter. I thought about it. It would look cute, but I am showing restraint for once. But that's also why I added the shimmer, which I'll show again for anyone who might have missed it. Because it's got glitter. You know, it's simple, but I also made a bunch of them. I'm gonna add, I haven't finished the insides of all the other ones. I've got all my little die cuts, but I didn't just make one. I only made one for the live, but all the prep work I did to get all the die cuts and everything, I made several of these. So I got extras, which is always a good thing. So yeah, no splatter, but I made a bunch. You know, it's the compromise. So I'll show the shimmery goodness again. Oh yeah, there we go. So they may be simple and they might not have splatter, but at least they're glittery. You know, at least they're glittery. We'll just again, oh. I could do this all day. Seriously, it's ridiculous. The algorithm thing. Well, thank you, Vicky. It does. And even if a person doesn't thumbs up and comment on every single video, if you watch the makers that you prefer consistently, whatever content it is on YouTube, because you know we all have a bunch of different interests, but the more you watch, if you watch someone consistently, technically. All right, here, let me switch over so it's more. There we go. The concept technically is if you watch someone consistently, the algorithm will then start showing you their videos on your feed, whether it's a new video or it'll start popping up like old ones. I get a kick out of that when I'll get a notification that someone's commented on a really old video. And they'll leave a comment like, this just popped up in my feed. And I'm like, holy man, I posted that video, 12 years ago. And the algorithm just dug that up out of the ether and fed it to someone. And I get a kick out of it. I think it's funny. But yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate anyone who takes the time, especially nowadays. Cause there is so much content being pumped out of all genres, all the time. And the fact that people find their way to my videos and all the things, I appreciate it. It makes my day. Oh, and there's also, for those that might miss it, we dry emboss the stencil too, which is really fun, It's subtle. Again, this is my version of clean and simple. I think I very much was channeling Kathy Zielski and her video, which I will do that right now before I forget. Let me quickly. I'll find her video and I'll post it. Below so that, because yeah, she's, let me do what I need to do. Kathy Zilski. No, do it right, stupid computer. There we go. Kathy's, because I think it was her most recent live from last week. I think it was her last, yeah. Let me copy the link and then CZ's video. Okay, I will put it. Inspiration. Save. There we go. Her video is linked. So for those that might, because the few um that aren't sure. In fact, while I'm talking to you guys, I'm going to start finishing the insides of the other cards. Why did I put those stamps away? I still need them. Because I can talk with you guys for a little bit while I like kind of finish up. Because yeah, though sometimes people stumble across my videos or they just don't know. And they're like, who? Because like her last name throws people off. And they're like, how do you spell that? And so Kathy Zielski, I linked her specific video that she did that just, it sat in the back of my mind. And I was like, just, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. She's a great card maker. Yeah. Okay. So while we're doing that, I am going to continue to finish the insides of these little cards. Because why not? Why not? Same with Facebook too. I used to never see your stuff, but now I do. I always say love, love, love because of that. Because of that petty human that once told you to say something besides love. I remember that. I know, right? Was it the love or was it I think it was the cute comment. I forget. Yeah, because I say either one. Because when I used to do a lot of like release and review videos and stuff, and I would say that a lot, like, oh my God, that's so cute. It's so cute. Oh, I love it. I love it. Because it's true. I do. And then, yeah, someone like lost their mind on me in the comments. This was years ago. And they were like, yeah, they were not nice about it. And it's like, can you say anything other than, I forget how they even phrased it, but it was just, I found it funny. It was really rude the way they said it, but I honestly found it funny. And I was like, and again, because for those that might not be aware, one, well, again, as always, welcome to the chaos. But two, if you weren't aware, I'm telling you now, I am petty. Like, I'm not only the queen of the Kathy Zielski fan club, I am also the queen of pettiness. Dudes, I can't help it. So when someone's like, "Oh, you say that. You say the word cute too much or the word love." My immediate gut instinct is to like say nothing but that word for the next 5 minutes straight. Like cute, 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 cute. It's so cute. Oh my God, it's so cute. Cute. I love it. Love. I need therapy. Yep. 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 uh okay. For card bases, I use Simon Says Stamps 120 pound white cardstock. That's like my go-to with card bases. I don't think I mentioned it. The cardstock I used I could have used the Simon cardstock for the dry embossing for the card front. The only reason I did it is because I had a few pieces of Hammer Mill. So that's why I linked to the Hammer Mill cardstock. I'm like, where am I with multiple cameras going? I used Hammer Mill's cardstock for this. It for that it legit doesn't matter what you use. Because I get asked that a lot too with the Hammer Mill, like what my thoughts are. I'm kind of just like with Hammer Mill cardstock. I know a lot of people love it. It is technically apparently great for foiling on. I use Simon's cardstock. Like Simon Says Stamp, smooth white cardstock. I've been using it for many, many years. And it's just been my go-to for everything because I use it for my card bases. I use it for alcohol marker coloring. I use it for emboss. Like I use it for everything. Um, but yeah, I've got a ream of the Hammer Mill, and then I was like the other day I pulled it out for I don't know why. I pulled it out of my drawer and then I couldn't get it back in the drawer because I've got crap piled up. And then I was like, I guess I'm using this now. It's a fine cardstock. It is fine. It's just, and I don't like it for card bases. That's another reason too. It's like too many options. So I like to just have one as my like go-to. But yeah. And I like a good heavyweight cardstock for my card bases specifically. You know, for layers and things like that's what I was talking about at the beginning of this live with, you know, Altenew's new cardstocks being lighter weight. Um, I personally don't like this kind of weight of cardstock for like a card base. I find it's a little too lightweight, but for layers and die cuts and all the things, love it. Like it's nice. And it's not flimsy. It's when you do like 65-pound cardstock that can get a little flimsy, and I wouldn't use it for in any I would definitely not use it for like a card base, but it works for like layering die cuts and that kind of stuff. The thing to remember too is the lighter the cardstock, because I've had people contact me about that and like leave comments and stuff. Um, if your cardstock is less than like 80 pounds, roughly, you know, 65-pound, etc., a lot of times like liquid adhesives will show through. Like you'll literally see the adhesive showing through, and it's like, ooh, that's not a pretty look, you know? But yeah, we're gonna stamp all our little I just started using. It's wonderful for coloring with alcohol. Yeah, like I know a lot of people love it. I personally, I'm not. And same thing. Yeah, people love the hammer mill for coloring with alcohol markers. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like how it looks, and I'm not the biggest fan. With just, I don't know, it just is different, but it's not bad. It's not bad. We have preferences, you know, which is that is the beauty of this whole like hobby, because it's like what other people love, and I'm always curious. That's why I got the hammer mill, because everyone was raving about it. So I was like, oh, I need this in my life. It's okay. I'm very picky about what I've already been using, and it's the same thing with like tools and things. I've had a lot of people asking me about, you know, the newer Tim Holtz scissors. Um, And I was like, I got them. I did get them. I have them here. I've only used them a couple times so far. It takes me a while to get used to it. Same with the glue press. You know, I ordered it when it first came out, but I did not show it in a video and I did not share my thoughts on it until I was using it behind the scenes for months, because I was like, it takes me a while to get used to something new. You know, I'm like the old fogey sitting on the front porch and it's like all these newfangled inventions and things, and I'm like, no. It takes me a while, you know? And sometimes my thoughts are just like, oh, this is not for me, or I end up loving it, or it's like, oh, I can see the appeal, but it's not for me. Like the hammer mill, I get it, I get why people like it. I'm just kind of like with it. So yeah, it's not a bad card. It's very smooth, I'll give them that. It is very smooth. It's just not my, who knows? Who knows? I'm just kind of like, me. Um, I like, yes, and same thing. Stretchy cat, I like your username. That's also why I like the heavier weight cardstock for my card bases. Because yeah, I usually, this today being an exception, I usually have so much going on my cards and so many layers that anything lighter weight, my cards will just like, you know, it can't handle it. So the heavier weight works. And yes, it is the same Terry. I have, yeah, it's 100-pound premium color card. It's the same stuff. And that's what I have linked below, because Simon's the Stamp does carry it. They started carrying it because it was, especially for a while there, it was really difficult to get. So they've been carrying it in smaller packs. I think it's like 25 sheets. I think that's what it is. I think it's a 25 sheet pack. So especially too for people that want to just try it out and not commit to an entire ream of like however many 100, 250 sheets, however many come in a ream. Um, it is a good option. Okay, I finished that one, and I finished that inside. I finished. Ooh, I've almost got all these insides done. Look at me go. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes I get things done. Even when I'm rambling to you guys, it feels good that I'm like getting things done. uh yeah, see Heather, that's what works is you can get I have a link to it in the with the supplies to the hammer mill from Simon's Stamp, and yeah, they sell it in much smaller quantities. I think it's like 25 sheets. Um which is always nice. I when there's, something new that comes on the market like that, it's always nice to be able to get like a smaller amount or a sample pack or whatever, just to see whether or not it's worth the hype to you. Cause yeah, personal preferences. And just because someone doesn't like something or it didn't work for them, like we were talking earlier with like the Altenew glitter cardstock, I've never had an issue with it. I absolutely love it. But some people have issues, and sorry, that was another little fruit fly. It's I see it all um as a good thing, you know? It all kind of ties into my thoughts on like just card making in general and all the different styles, all the different brands, all the different makers. Good lord, it would be so boring if we were all had the same taste, had the same style, you know, everything. It would be so unbelievably boring because there'd be no variety. There'd be no different opinions. There'd be no everything would be so cookie cutter and like what's the point? What's the point? And we now, especially now, we've got like so many different makers, so many different brands, so many different styles, so many different tools, all the things. Like I think there's something for everyone. I am not for everyone. Like I'm well aware of it. My personality, my pettiness, I'm not for everyone. Some people just genuinely do not like me at all, and that is okay. You know? It's like I'm sure they'll see my face pop up on YouTube and they're like, "Nope." That's okay. You know? They don't need to come over and announce it, you know? It's like you don't have to like everyone. There's stuff that I see that I'm just not a fan of, and I don't feel the need to be all like a jerk in their comment section. I'm just like, nope, not gonna watch. You know, it's it's the beauty of it all. And those that do like to, show up on my stuff and complain, I like to remind them no one's being forced. There's a magical little button you can click to go somewhere else, go watch something else. You don't have to sit through it if you absolutely hate it. Uh, I guess I'm weird, but I don't care for the Nina, and everyone seems like. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Nina cardstock anymore. I used to. I used to love it. Um, and then for whatever reason, I switched to using Simon Says Stamp's 120-pound smooth, and I'm not sure what. Nothing really changed. I just remember because every once in a while, like especially in the Simon kits, a lot of times it'll be Nina cardstock, and people do love Nina cardstock. But I remember, I forget when it was. It was a while ago, but I stamped some images onto Nina cardstock, and I was trying to color them with my alcohol markers, and I was so frustrated. Like I was frustrated, and I was like, "What the heck? This was my favorite." And I think it's just for me. I've just become so used because you get used to how a cardstock feels, how it works, how markers or inks or whatever. Like I know these things, and I've just kind of forgotten how things work on Nina. The Classic Crest Smooth White specifically, because I love my Nina Desert Storm. Holy Grail, love that stuff. Favorite cardstock. Um, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the Nina anymore, and I haven't been for many years, but it's still a good cardstock. It's just not for me. And it's another one I need to use up because, of course, I have a ton of it. I have a ton of it. There, I finished all the insides. I wasn't planning on doing this on camera, but, you know, I'm rambling to you guys. So, anyway, there we go. There's all my cards. I appreciate you guys again for hanging out with me. So I got the outsides and the insides all done. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, and I'll add this. I don't usually, here, the last one. People ask me about this a lot. Personalized stamps. This will be another little extra. Bossy Jossy. That's where I get mine from. It's JOSCI. Let me double check. Yes. Jossy.com. I'm adding that in the doobly-doo below the video as well. Let me make sure everything's still working. No, stop it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Jossy.com. That's where I've got, and I have this like Ranger acrylic block because I got mine unmounted. I think there's options, but that's what I use for the backs of my cards. That's another little bonus because why not? You know, why not? And she's great. She's got all kinds of products that you can personalize, things like that. But that's what I use. I have a personalized stamp. And for me, I have my name, my website, email, my Facebook link, and my Instagram on my little stamp. And that's what I do on the backs of my cards. And she's awesome. I have ordered many because I've had to reorder when I had to redo my website and get a new website and blah, blah, blah. I had to get new personalized stamps. And yeah, I got this. And I just keep it. I keep it like this. And I just keep it over here. And then when I'm done my cards, slap that on there and I'm done. So, did you buy your sugar for the holidays yet? Remember last year? Last year, it was the only reason we couldn't get sugar last year was because one of the main sugar mills up here in Canada, they went on strike. Not happening this year. I have sugar on hand. We literally could not get sugar for a while. In fact, when I finally did get my hands on some brown sugar, it was hard as a rock. And yeah, I didn't do any Christmas baking last year because we could not get sugar, specifically brown sugar. And even white sugar though. It was nuts. Like Costco, like no one could get sugar. It was bizarre. It was so bizarre. Oh, the drama we had to deal with last year. But yeah, I've noticed like when I go to we were talking about that during Sunday's live. When I go to Costco, they have been over ordering because they have like pallets on the floor because usually, you know, they're way up. They have pallets on the floor of sugar and flour and, you know, all the things. So we're good. We're good. We're good. So yeah, you had a run of the Desert Storm during. Oh yeah, I was using the Desert Storm cardstock so much during Stamptember. Like it was just my go-to because same thing. I pulled out a few sheets of it and then whatever's handy. I am just like that. It's like if things are kind of out of sight, that's why like everything like I'm a mess because if it's out of sight, out of mind with me. So it's like, oh, and I say that in videos. I was like, I used this product because it was convenient, aka it was sitting on my desk and I didn't have to think. Did you get your candy corn yet? No. Nope. My little local store that I was mentioning on Sunday's live that sometimes gets in like the Brock's, the good, is that how you pronounce it? Brock's? I don't know how you pronounce it. They usually would get in nothing. They don't even have the crappy kind. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then the one online store that I'll sometimes order candy from because, you know, I finally kind of caved and I went on there and I looked because I was like, oh, I'll get some. And like, you can get the bags of just the pumpkins, you know, the Brock's. Oh, they look so good. Sold out across the board. I can't get any. So I guess I won't have candy corn this year. I'm very sad. It's not like it's going to kill me, but yeah, I could not find any. So my life is very sad, but whatever. I'll survive. But yeah, I was looking forward to my little trail mix of candy corn and roasted peanuts, and yeah, we're supposed to add what, M&Ms, and what was the other thing? Oh, toffee pieces, I think was said in the chat during Sunday's live, and I was like, you guys are gonna like give me diabetes. Anyway, Brock, yeah, Brock's. We don't. That's not a thing in Canada. It's not easily available, but a lot of places either bring it up here, and then yeah, that one online store I use, they carry that brand, but yeah, sold out completely. And then the local place had nothing. No, and I looked, and I was like, wow. So no candy corn for me. So that's very sad. But oh well. And also I was more because I really wanted to get those the pumpkins. You know, whatever they have a name for them with the Brock's brand. They're the Creamalo or something. I don't know, but they're the little pumpkins that are the same material as candy corn. And just like Mario, like Tim Holtz and Mario Rossi, Mario has said, and I am on his side with this. The pumpkins are better. I don't know why. I don't know why, but the pumpkins are so much better, and I was so excited. And then I like was on the online store and I wanted to add them to cart, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a couple bags of these. Completely sold out. And the autumn mix, which I'm not the fan of because I don't like the candy corn with the brown. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm just is what it is. But yeah, they're sold out completely. So everything's been awesome. That just was like a total downer, but it's candy corn. It's not going to kill me. uh, because of you, I try to finish the insides of my cards more often. Oh, I'm glad. That's fun. Yeah, for me, cards are not done until the insides are done. You can make brown sugar using molasses. Oh yeah, everyone was giving me those tips. I was not desperate enough to bother last year. We didn't even have that much white sugar. Because I buy the big bags at Costco of white sugar because I have big, um, two really big containers on wheels in my pantry because again, I got a lot of kids and I do baking. My oldest ones do baking, that kind of stuff. So flour and sugar, I buy the big like or 15-pound bags, whatever they are. They're big. And I have great big containers. And last year I was like running low already on white sugar and was like, I'm going to go get more. And everywhere was wiped out. It was insane. And when Costco was getting stock in, people were leaving with cartfuls. Like it got to the point where they had to limit it at stores, like limit one per person. It was nuts how insane it got. Like it lasted 2 or 3 months that we had this major, like, sugar shortage. It was bonkers, but yeah, we're fine now. I've got plenty. I ain't worried about it. So, um, I've never had candy corn. Honestly, candy corn, unless you've had the good stuff, because this will be the last bit before I go. I always hated candy corn. I was like, that stuff is trash. And I was always kind of side-eyeing anyone who said they liked candy corn, you know? And then like Tim Holtz is going on about loving candy corn. And I was like, dude, what's wrong with you? Seriously. Are you okay? You know? And then Kathy Zielski, same thing. But if you haven't had good candy corn, that's a thing. Because anytime before that, I had like the cheaper, gross kind that tastes like literal wax. It's disgusting. The cheap candy corn, don't bother. It's like chewing on a candle. It's so gross. But the good stuff, like Brock's brand, and then I can't remember what I called it in Sunday's Live. I think it's called Cottage Country is the actual brand in Canada. I forget what I was calling it in Sunday's Live. I was totally wrong about the brand. But in Canada, I think it's called Cottage Country. I think that's the actual name. They make good candy corn too. I checked because same thing. My local store has like a whole huge display of that brand. They had no candy corn. I'm really sad. Anyway, if you're not the biggest fan of it though, but it's like if you get the good kind and you mix it with roasted salted peanuts. It's like a payday bar, you know? And then if you really want to be fan, yeah, add in some little M&Ms. People were adding like all kinds of things in the chat, and they were like M&Ms, mini M&Ms, and then like toffee pieces. And I was like, you guys are literally going to kill me. But yeah, candy corn with roasted salted peanuts is so good because you've got the sweet and the salty like mixed together, and it's just the best. That is all Kathy Zilski's fault and Tim and Mario's fault. They got me onto that, and I don't even want to admit how much I inhaled of that last year. I had so much. It was so good. And yeah, I can't even find it. I can't find candy corn. I have not been able to find it. It's not the end of the world. I'll survive. But yeah. Yes. Yeah, Ginny. Exactly. I find it is way too sweet. Even the good stuff, the Brock's, is too sweet on its own. Like, I'll have a few pieces of it, but if I don't have any like peanuts to go with it, yeah, it's very sweet. It's like pure sugar. You know, it's good, but it's like a few pieces in, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, you mix it with the roasted salted peanuts, and it's a good snack. It's a good snack. Oh, you guys, we always end up talking about snacks. But then that's just me, really. Everything's about like food and snacks. I'm like really, really. But yeah, it was really good. Anywho, I appreciate I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys like tuning in. And don't worry about getting me any. There was and I forget her name off the top of my head. Someone had sent me a couple bags of Brock's last year, and it was so sweet of her. But what killed me is when I saw how much she paid for shipping. It just it was so sweet. I very much appreciate anyone thinking about it, but I don't want anyone to like go out and buy it and then like try to mail it to me, because the cost of shipping is ridiculous. It's so gross. Like, she paid more in shipping than she paid for the candy, and I did very much enjoy it. Every little piece. And it's a nice thing because like no one else in the household, everyone thinks and I just let them assume everyone else thinks the candy corn is disgusting. Like, they think it tastes like wax, yada yada yada, you know? And I'm like, yeah, it's disgusting. It's so awful. Oh, as I'm eating, because it's all for me. You know, like when the kids are little and you're like, oh, you won't like it. It's really spicy, you know, and it's ice cream or something. Same thing. I was like, yeah, this stuff's disgusting. Like, I don't know why I have it in the cupboard. Or I keep the good stuff, I keep hidden in a drawer in here where nobody knows. Even the unpaid intern doesn't know where the snack drawer is. And that's where I keep like the stuff that it's like that I just don't want to share with anybody. You know? Anyway, I've got follow me for more life-changing advice. I'm sure we've all got like a snack drawer somewhere. And if you don't, you should. You know, a little hoard where you can keep the good stuff that you just don't want to share with anyone else. Like I said, I need therapy, man. Anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This ended up being a bit longer than I had planned, but I've fun chatting with all of you. Oh, this wasn't centered. That's annoying. And yeah, we made these very shimmery little cards. For those that, you know, missed most of it, I did show a couple times with my flashlight. These are actually sparkly. For as clean and simple as they are, they're actually sparkly. And if I ship from Canada, it's expensive. Canadian shipping is disgusting. Disgusting. Literally. Like, the cost of shipping within Canada and from Canada to anywhere is just like, our cheapest option now because we now have flat rate boxes in Canada. But one, it's not like the US. You have to pay ahead of time. You can't just take the boxes home and then pay when you ship, because I know that's how it is in the States, or at least it used to be like that in the States, that you could get those like priority boxes in the States. You can just get a stack of them. And then you pay when you ship them. But maybe that's changed in the States. But up here, you have to pay for the box before you can like even bring it home. And yeah, the cheapest one now is like $20 or more. You can fit a fair bit though. Like it's not a tiny little box. It's a decent size. But yeah, shipping's expensive. Got a snack drawer in my art room. Yep. I have a dedicated drawer. I have so much other stuff. I am a disorganized mess. I have things all over the floor, all the things. But I have one right now. It's actually empty. But I ordered a bit of candy stuff because I talked about that. My cinnamon red hots. That's my other like holy grail candy is cinnamon red hots, and that's the brand is Red Hots. I love those to an unhealthy degree. So I did order some because those are also really hard to find. And yeah, when the order gets here, they go in the drawer. They go in the drawer until they're no longer in the drawer because I've eaten them all. You know? But yeah, you gotta have a snack drawer. Or just a little stash somewhere, where nobody else has access and no one else knows. And just make sure it's a spot where you can't forget. Although sometimes that's kind of fun. It's like, oh, I forgot I hid these. And then it's like, I've got a box of candy. Although that's part of the problem. I will go to my little snack drawer and I'll open it and it's literally empty. And I'm like, and then I'll go to it the next day. I'm like, maybe I was imagining that. And it's like, it's still empty. Darn it. Oh, man. Oh, you do have to pay for them now. Okay. Oh, no. No. Okay, never mind. No, the box is still free in the States until you ship. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't think we can get them. Yeah, here we have to pay for the boxes. Like, you cannot just get the boxes. You have to pay for them, like pay the shipping, which is just annoying and it's expensive, you know? But at least we now have that option because we didn't until that was what, a year or two ago? A couple years ago at least. Something. It's more recent in Canada that we finally have like a flat rate shipping options because we didn't for the longest time. And my only peeve with it is I have literally shipped a couple boxes of things to people, and it sometimes can be more expensive to ship a smaller box. Like I had one already packed everything and it was more expensive than the flat rate one. I was so annoyed. But I had already like packed everything really nicely and made it fit and like wrapped everything up really nicely. And I was just like, whatever. It wasn't that much. If it had been a huge difference, I would have been like, screw this. I'm like repacking it in the flat rate box. But yeah, I was like, really? Like, come on, man. But I get it. I get it. It's just silly things like that. Plus, I just hate going to the post office. I don't like dealing with people. This is why I sit alone in the garage and talk to a camera. It's easier to just, I'm just reading a chat. This is all fake. This is all pretend. None of this is real. So, I wish Snap, yeah, yes. 100%. Why can't it be like that? Why can't there just be a magical... Honestly, if I kept dropping enough hints, the unpaid intern would probably start doing that for me. But then that would be a bad thing because I can survive without tons of candy. But if it's around, I have no self-control. So, yeah. Anywho, I am very glad that you guys tuned in. And yeah, I will get the photos up like I always do. And do the social medias, and then just stay tuned. I have other videos coming. Today is Thursday. I always forget what day it is. I need reminders. That's actually what Kathy Zilski, she agreed to that. I need to hold her to that. She agreed to that during one of her lives. I was like, I forget what day it is. I need an assistant. And she agreed to be my personal assistant. I think at the time she only agreed to be the assistant in terms of reminding me of what day it is. But I added a couple extra tasks to that, I think. I forget. But literally, it's like I do that with Chris all the time. I always have to. I'm like, what day is today? I don't even know, even though it's on my phone. Anyway, today's Thursday. I will have a couple more videos coming, depending on just everything. But I have more videos coming, and then Sunday we go live on Sundays at 2 p.m. Central. And yeah, I think there's too many people out there at the post office. There's just too many people outside. I don't like peopling. Yeah, I had a this will be my last little story. I had to go pick up a prescription when I was running errands the other day, and and I'm not even exaggerating, the entire store was all in the lineup behind me, and they were having issues getting my prescription, all the things, and there's just the line just kept getting longer and longer. They weren't doing any other shopping because, there's all kinds of other things you do. Nope, it was just everyone was also they all had the same idea at the same time together. So everyone's lining up behind me. Everything's taking and they're all staring at me, and I'm just like, I was ready to vomit. It was awful. And then when they finally were like, everything got cleared up, and I was like, I'm looking for all things, and I was like, I also because they keep some things behind the counter, and so I was like, I need this and I need this, and I was just like, I wanted to like sink into the floor. I wanted to cry. I almost nearly cried. It was just one of those days, and everything's going wrong, and like all these people are frustrated, and then of course, and then you have to turn around to leave and face the entire line of people, and I'm like, okay, bye. This is why I don't leave the house. I was asking my 6-year-old what day it was this morning. It's Friday here. Oh yeah, I had things going on today. I thought today, just in my head, I was like, it's the end of the week. We're done. Like the week is over. It's the weekend. And then Chris is like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's the end of the week. He's like, it's Thursday. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, okay, we're good. So anyway, yeah. I don't people. I don't people much. I people with you guys. That's my peopling, which this was good. And everything worked. My live on Sunday worked. Today's live worked. For those that aren't aware, I usually have tech issues and my everything freezes, all the crazy chaos. It worked. Let's knock on wood that it continues. I pay so much for this software and like all my equipment that it should work, but I always have issues. Anyway, I will do the social medias and all the things. And yes, anxiety sucks so much. I have very severe social anxiety. It's not fun. It's not fun. I can talk about it because again, my brain disassociates. This is all fake. This is all fake. It's all fake. It's not real. So yeah, it's easy for me to be like, I'm just talking to a chat. I'm talking to a camera. I'm talking to a chat. If you guys were all actually in the room with me, I'd be like screaming, crying, throwing up, in the corner, just like, no. Because even though you guys would all be super awesome and amazing, and I'm sure we would all be wonderful and get along and have a great crafty time, I would be having an absolute meltdown. Pretty much. I say that though, but I went to Create last year. I didn't get to go this year for reasons. I did go last year and I had a lot of fun. But again, there's something about being in a room with, or not even just a room, an entire hotel with a bunch of people that make cards too. I met a bunch of you guys and it was awesome. I genuinely had a wonderful time. I did have an complete and total panic attack meltdown and nearly flew home, nearly threw up more than once. Like I was a mess internally because again, anxiety, not fun, but I was able to get over it and I had a great time. So maybe I'll get to go again and meet more people and all the things. I use the drive-through. Oh, you have a drive-through to pick up prescriptions? Jealous. So jealous. The only improvement I have here is I can fill it online. Because it used to be I would have to physically go, stand in line, talk to people to fill said prescription, and then I would have to go back later because they're super, super busy. You cannot get them like within a decent, like it's literally later in the day, whatever. But now I can fill it online. So then I just have to go to pick it up. But there's always like some sort of drama with me. There always is. Again, chaos. But yeah. Man, if they had a drive-through though, I would be on that. That would be wonderful. Literally, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. It's not fake. By the way, when's your birthday? My birthday, what day is today? Today's the 17th. My birthday's on Saturday. One of my kids brought it up earlier today. They're like, your birthday's on Saturday. I was like, oh, yeah. The only reason I even remembered is Chris has brought it up a few times, and I was like, oh, okay. So yeah. Doodly doodly doo. Have you tried CBD? Not for my anxiety. I've tried it though, and it didn't help. I've tried many. It's still something I'm working on with my doctor because I have weird. I'm talking too much, but anyway, I have weird sensitivities to medications. I have tested many over the years and not good results yet. I have not yet found a really good one that just doesn't leave me completely out to lunch or just weird, all the weird side effects, things like that. It just sucks. So sometimes for me with anxiety, I either just got to suck it up and deal with it and then just have a meltdown later. Or I just stay in my house. Not a good thing. Don't recommend. But we're working on it. But anyway, thank you everyone. Doodly-doo. I know. Like dealing with oh, you guys are lucky. Yeah, order prescription refills via the app and pick up at a drive-through. Oh, I wish. I wish. I wish. It would be so nice. Like ours is very nuts. My doctor sends it in, but then but now because I can do it with my app. So at least my doctor sends it in and then I can use my app to fill it. But then I have to physically go get in line, pick it up. Usually there's not a line. But this week when I went, it was that whole ridiculous situation that seems to only happen with me. So even again, Chris was like, I'll pick it up for you next time. Because I was literally almost in tears. It was bad. And he has sometimes. He'll go because he can handle it a little better than I can. And I'm just like, anyway. But yeah, thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Yeah. Doodly doo. And yeah, you guys that have the drive-throughs for I'm happy for you. I am. I'm really happy for you, but also I'm kind of just like shaking my hairbrush. I'm sure we'll get that option up in Canada in 10 years. We always seem to follow a lot of these things that the US has, and then Canada gets it usually about a decade later. That's just how it works. It takes us a while to adopt to things. But yeah, I'm sure at some point. I literally can't fathom that. It would be wonderful. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And yeah, medications are a lot cheaper in Canada, significantly cheaper because we have socialized healthcare. So I will, yep, I will stand in line and I will go through the craziness because a couple of the meds that I do have are very expensive and I know how much they are in the States and I couldn't afford them. Even with our coverage and different things, I will stand in line, I will people because it's significantly cheaper. It's worth it. So, yeah, is what it is. But thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Oh, you do have them in Ontario. Okay. If you've got drive-throughs at pharmacies in Ontario, then at least they're in Canada. Because usually, yeah, places like Ontario and Vancouver will get stuff before the rest of us, obviously. Because for those that aren't aware, I'm in the middle of Saskatchewan in the prairies, hence Prairie Paper and Ink. And it is very, very rural, really. I'm in the suburbs, basically, outside of the city. But yeah, if you've got them in Ontario, there's hope. It might be less than a decade. I might see one. I might see one in my lifetime. You're happy for us, but kind of hate us. Kind of. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. It's just like, man. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I can order mine online and have them mailed to me. That would be nice too. Honestly. Yeah, it just is what it is. But whatever. Whatever. Is what it is. And sometimes I do need to leave my house. I'm not even kidding. During Stamptember, I barely left this garage, let alone the house. Because I worked like a crazy person. And sometimes I need to get out of the house. But yeah, I'm not a people person, you know? And then when I come back, and Chris and I both, we're just like, it is too people-y out there. Like both of us. He and I are both hermits, and we just force ourselves, you know, we have to. Got to get the groceries, got to run the errands, got to get the prescriptions, yada, yada, yada. But, all right. I appreciate you guys tons. I have blabbed on and on about randomness, but it's fun. It's fun chatting with you guys. I enjoy it. And at least we can get candy corn here. You just rub it in, don't you? Just pour salt in the wound. But yeah, I'm going to clean up my mess. I will have more videos. I'll have more Halloween videos. I talked about the Halloween stuff in the last Halloween video I posted, which was just, 2 days ago? Whenever it was. I will continue to make Halloween cards right up until Halloween, because that's just what I like. And I have ideas. There's so much things I haven't used yet. Again. So yeah, I'll be making for Halloween right up to Halloween. And it's the same thing with Christmas stuff. I make Christmas and holiday cards right up until Christmas, because it's just anything extra I save for next year. So it's all good. And then I'll have like fall themes and all the other stuff that I always do. Lives on Sundays, random bonus ones like tonight. And I think that's it for all the housekeeping. I appreciate you guys. It was a good chat. I enjoyed it. And I'm glad you guys enjoy it. You know, it's fun. For all my non-peopling things, you know, I do enjoy. I like to talk. I like to talk to instead of just talking to myself, I can talk to you guys. So I don't make Halloween cards, but I love watching your Halloween videos. I get a lot of comments like that, and I that's great. I enjoy it. Like, it's not for everyone, and I get it, but I get a kick out of those like you that they're like, I will never make Halloween cards, but I like watching you make them. And I'm like, that's great. If you get enjoyment out of it, awesome. Love it. And I may convert you eventually. You never know. Same thing with the splatter and all the other things, you know, I'll get under your skin somehow. I got like a hair stuck to my microphone. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to end this officially, and I will see you all very soon. Oh, thank you, Twyla, for the super sticker. That's cute. I'll have to. Ooh, can I see it on this one? It doesn't show up proper. Wait. Oh, that's really cute. Thank you. When people use the stickers, whether it's a super sticker, I didn't even know that was a thing, or not, on my software, I don't see it. It just describes it to me. So it's like, pear character with lovey-dovey eyes blowing red hearts in the air. Love it. But I can see it on my other one. He's cute. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, and I appreciate you guys. And yeah, I will see you all. I'm just making sure all my software. Okay, I'm going to do the proper outro because I've been adding them, figuring out all this software. I'll see you guys very soon. At the bare minimum, couple videos coming, and then live on Sunday is still the plan unless something changes. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!